On May 7, 1942, a massive attack launched from American carriers Lexington and Yorktown destroyed light carrier Shoho, the leader of a group of ships heading towards Port Moresby. When Shoho was destroyed, the remaining ships from the group turned north. The ships heading towards Port Moresby were also forced to retreat. Lexington and Yorktown continued their search for the Japanese fleet. Meanwhile, two Japanese carriers, Shokaku and Zuikaku, sailed around the Solomon Islands and headed towards Port Moresby. On the morning of May 8, the Americans detected the Japanese fleet and launched an airstrike from both carriers.
Enemy closing in from southwest-west. Zika fighters attack enemy planes. Repeat, Zika-class fighters attack enemy planes closing in from the west. Roger that. can be damaged. Failed to detect enemy forces. Looks like they've been given a break.
Correct. Wing! All land on Tulagi to refuel and reload! Good day's work, everyone. I hope our bombers made it hot for them.
The carrier, believed to be the Zuikaku class, was observed by all pilots to burn fiercely in a manner obviously beyond control. Several severe explosions, other than those resulting from bomb or torpedo hits, were observed. And before the attack was completed, the ship was almost entirely hidden by smoke and flame. The smoke cleared before all the Lexington planes left the area, and the ship had disappeared. Report of Air Operations Officer, USS Lexington. While Japanese fighters were defending Shokaku and Zuikaku, Japanese bombers were approaching the Lexington and Yorktown.
Approaching designated coordinates. Maintain vigilance.
fighters. Attention! Attack enemy plane. I repeat, attack enemy plane. Don't let them come near the bombers or torpedo the bombers that are attacking. It's shredded! Mission accomplished. Wing head back! Returning to Shokaku and Suikaku.
Amidst this fantastic rainfall of anti-aircraft and spinning planes, I dove almost to the water surface and sent my torpedo into the Saratoga-type carrier. I had to fly directly above the waves to escape the enemy's shells and tracers. In fact, when I turned away from the carrier, I was so low that I almost struck the bow of the ship, for I was flying below the level of the flight deck. I could see the crewmen on the ship staring at my plane as it rushed by. Lieutenant Commander Shigekazu Shimazaki, IJN Zuikaku.
The Battle of the Coral Sea became the first serious test for the Japanese aircraft carrier navy, as it was the case when Japanese aircraft carriers met American ones. And the Japanese undoubtedly called this battle their victory. They considered 2 aircraft carriers of the enemy to be probably destroyed. However, after the attack, the covering forces had 2 little planes left, so they had to postpone the landing on Port Moresby itself for an uncertain period of time. However, Tulagi Island was occupied, which strengthened the position of the Japanese on the Solomon Islands. The seizure of Port Moresby was considered an army operation, and the Navy was preparing another operation at the same time aimed at luring and destroying the rest of the American aircraft carriers. Now, after the Battle of the Coral Sea, the Americans were likely to have fewer aircraft carriers left, which made fulfillment of this task easier. Seizure of a military base on the Midway Atoll was to become a bait for the Americans. The Japanese reckoned that the enemy could not allow the loss of this strategic point and would surely answer the challenge, where there would be an armada of aircraft carriers and battleships waiting for the enemy. At the same time, the Navy was conducting an operation of landing on the Aleutian Islands, which were to become another pivot in the war against the Allies, which Japan was waging on many fronts simultaneously. In early June 1942, a huge Japanese fleet comprising over 70 ships and 4 aircraft carriers, Hiryu, Kaga, Soryu, Akagi, moved out towards the Midway Atoll.